folks. I've got something really special today I wanted to do. As you know, Miss Matha Earnhardt passed away on Christmas Day. She was 91 years old. Of course, this is the NASCAR Trading Cards Tech Learning Center where the learning never stops. This is the place where we teach you about the great hobby of NASCAR trading cards collecting that spans 50 years of color and just plain fun. We're not going to have a class today. Today I'm going to get away a little bit from explaining NASCAR trading cards, and instead I'm going to use these cards to show how Mrs. Matha Earnhardt contributed quietly from behind the scenes to this great sport. Of course, you've probably seen the news where Miss Earnhardt passed away. Of course, she's Ralph Earnhardt's husband. She was his husband, Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s mother, and Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s grandmother. Matha pretty much stayed behind the scenes. The only thing I've seen that she did really that got some publicity was when she and Carol Gordon Bickford, that's Jeff Gordon's mother. So you've got Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s grandmother and Jeff Gordon's mother. They combined together, pit stop in the Southern Kitchen, and they did a cookbook together. But other than that, she was very supportive of the family, and she pretty much stayed behind the scenes. I'm going to start off talking about her husband, Ralph Earnhardt. Matha Earnhardt and Ralph Earnhardt were married in 1947. While her family would be the center of NASCAR racing for the next 75 years, she was the true matriarch of the Earnhardt family all those years from behind the scenes. Excuse me, folks. Matha Earnhardt and Ralph Earnhardt were married from 1947 to 1973 when Ralph passed away. I think he died of a heart attack. Ralph began racing in 1953 full-time, and he found that's the best way he could make money. And he became one of the top racers in the sport for the rest of his life. During his illustrious career, Ralph would win 350 local short track races. Of course, he got this son by the name of Dale Earnhardt Sr. Ralph and son Dale Earnhardt Sr. did get to race together at the same track in 1972. And of course, a year later, on September 26, 1973, Matha Earnhardt lost her husband, Ralph. And I'm using the trading cards to tell the story as much as I can. Of course, this is one that I don't even know when it was produced, but it's a good one of Ralph. Ralph always used a number 8 on his car. I had a cousin, Philip Smith, who raced modified race cars at Bowman Gray Stadium all throughout the southeastern United States. And he raced, his early career was in the prime of Ralph's career. And he said, man, when that 8 car showed up at the track, he said, you just knew you didn't have much of a chance of winning that night, because that guy seemed like he was always winning and always in the lead. Of course, now we're going to talk about Matha Earnhardt's son, Dale Earnhardt Sr. It just gets richer and richer, folks, and this is another part of her legacy. Dale Earnhardt Sr., of course, he was racing in 1972. He got some real good opportunities because he was good, folks. He probably maybe the best there ever was. He's definitely a GOAT. He got his first win in 1979. Here, I'm using another card to show this. and he was on his way. And Dale Sr. would go on to win 7 NASCAR Winston Cup championships, while his mother, Martha, quietly supported him from behind the scenes. And probably meant more to the sport in his era than probably anybody has before or since in the sport. Now, I got a chance to visit Miss Matha Earnhardt in her home in Kannapolis, North Carolina, because she was a friend of one of my family members. And I tell you, folks, what a wonderful memory that was. She was very cordial. She invited us in. She let us sit in her living room. We had a nice conversation. I'll never forget, her cat jumped up on my lap and let me pet it. And I looked around, and there on the wall was a picture of Dale Sr. And of course, this was after he had passed away. And there at a little end table beside of him was an 8x10 picture of Dale Jr. And I was thinking, how in the world did I get here? And Miss Earnhardt, she says, I got something I want to show y'all. I've got this special room of memories. And she took us in the room, and I think she had a couple of originals that Sam Bass, the great NASCAR artist, had done, and several mementos and memories. And she picked up this picture, and it was Dale smiling, and he was on the phone. And I said, well, what's significant about that? And she said, when Dale won the Daytona 500 in 1998, and he was in Victory Lane, he gave me a call. He just stopped everything and gave me a call. And this is a picture of him calling me at home. And she says, Dale said, Mama said I won the Daytona 500. And she says, I know, I saw it on the TV a while ago, which I thought was a pretty good story. Of course, Matha Earnhardt's son, Dale Earnhardt Sr., sadly passed away in a crash in the 2001 Daytona 500. And he's just such a great loss to NASCAR, and I know it was a great loss to her, too. Next chapter in her illustrious heritage in this great sport is Matha Earnhardt's grandson, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Now, I have a picture here of Dale Jr. interviewing Mama Matha Earnhardt, that's what he called her, Mama, a few years back on this very popular podcast today. And it was a good, fun one to hear, folks. But let me talk a little bit about Martha's third generation NASCAR racing grandson, Dale Earnhardt Jr. And of course, here is a card of Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 1994. It's a high gear card, and it's his rookie card. And the reason this card was produced is because in 1993, Dale Earnhardt Sr. told his son, and he wanted his 2 grandsons to get some experience. And you don't just jump in a race car and go racing, folks. You have got to get your feet on the ground. You've got to learn this sport from the ground up. And that's what Dale Sr. told Dale Jr. to do. So what they did is they had Kelly, his granddaughter, Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s children, Kelly, Dale Jr., and Curry. They had like a caravan, and they would go from short track to short track all during 1993, and they would race the local people. Now they may not, Dale Earnhardt Jr. may finish 15th, but he was getting experience. And this is a picture of all 3 of them. This, of course, is a card from 1994 high gear. And they also did individual cards of Kelly on the right, Dale Jr. and Curry. And these are a real good rookie cars to have if you're a collector like I am. But it's just some real good pictures and just a moment in time when three people were learning about this sport from the ground up. Now, Dale Jr. Did get to race. He was a great Grand National. They call it Xfinity driver. I think in 2000, 2001, he got his chance to go Cup racing. And in 2004, he, like his father, in 1998, won the Daytona 500. And it's just a great, memorable moment for a father and a son to win the sport. There's not been many. I think maybe, I don't know. I don't know who else has won it, but it was a great moment for them. Now, I just wanted to give you her legacy. So her husband, her son, her grandson were mainstays in the sport. Dale Jr., I guess for 10 or 12 years in a row, was the most popular driver in the mid 2000s to the mid 2010s. And Martha lived in Kannapolis, North Carolina, and Matha Earnhardt's hometown of Kannapolis, North Carolina, has a statue of Dale Sr. downtown. And Martha would visit this quite often, and she would see flowers that people left and mementos that people left at it. And people just loved Dale Earnhardt because he was the excitement on Sundays for them for probably 15 or 20 years. And they just wanted to remember this great man and her son. And we just wanted to say thank you, Matha Earnhardt, for all you have given us in NASCAR racing for the last 75 years from behind the scenes. And we just want you to know you will be surely missed. You are a great lady. You did things quietly, and we appreciate you, ma'am. We really do appreciate you. Well, folks, that's it for today. Please like and share this, and I would love to have a comment on this to see what you think. I'm deviating a little bit today. Hit that little bell and join us for future stuff. But today, this is for Miss Matha Earnhardt, who passed away on Christmas Day at 91 years old. Well, folks, that's it. This is the Big Bear checking out one more time. Y'all have a nice day, and we love y'all. We'll see you later, folks.